to watch was created for the purposes of entertainment. Moonshadow Mystery of the Changeling, or host, claims no association with Hasbro Studios or DHX Media Vancouver. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, is the license and copyright properties of Hasbro Studios and DHX Media Vancouver, as well as the Lauren Fast and Discovery Family and Discovery Kids. Please support the official release. For information on how to get in touch with Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling, in order to suggest content for future videos, please stay tuned after the review, or check the description in the bottom of the screen. Thank you for tuning in and watching.
Hello everybody, this is your host, Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling. How is everybody doing on this chilly October 10th, 2016, as of the time of this recording? It is Monday morning, and more importantly, well, not so much more importantly, it is Columbus Day in the United States where I'm at. Admittedly a pointless holiday, but as a result, it gave me the opportunity to do something else. I did say in my previous review that if I had the opportunity to get this review out early, that I would do so. Whoops. May as well leave those off for this video, I suppose. Yes, that does mean that I did get the opportunity to see My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 6, Episode 24, Top Bolt. That being said, spoiler warnings ahead for anyone who has not yet gotten the opportunity to see the video. It got leaked in the UK early, and as a result, I got to see a live stream of it. Unfortunately, that means that it's not going to be released in the US on an official basis until Saturday, which I believe is October the 15th, at 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central and Pacific. Now, that being said, let's get on with the review. Now, Top Bolt, as far as being the title of this video, is obviously a nod to the Tom Cruise film from the 1980s, Top Gun. That's not that surprising because a vast majority of these Wonderbolts episodes have had a lot of Top Gun references. Now, I'm sure someone from the military, like Josh Scorcher over at Forward Operating Base Equestria, and his channel by his name, Josh Scorcher, aka he's, for those not aware, and I don't know why you wouldn't be aware, he is the Fiery Joker and Commander Firebrand. You should be familiar with him because he's worked with Dr. Wolf, Lightning Bliss, and many other analysis on the My Little Pony parody Team Fortress 2 Analysis Anarchy, which is a fantastic little comedy bit. And yes, that is in fact why I'm wearing a camouflage jacket in my MLP dog tags, because of the military theme. Haha. Now, maggots, let's get going with this review further. This title has no importance, other than to set the tone for a Top Gun theme. But yes, the video starts off at the Wonderbolt Academy, where apparently Rainbow Dash has been, for a while, doing routine exercise drills with the Wonderbolts. This is not that surprising, because now that she's an official Wonderbolt, that does mean more time at the academy, doing routines, doing drills, and staying physically fit for potential disasters as well as performances. As many have noticed, in the United States, the Wonderbolts are a parody for the Blue Angels. Now, as Mad Munchkin, another well-known reviewer on YouTube over in Scotland, has pointed out there is in fact a UK variation and I'm not entirely sure what they're called. So I apologize for not telling y'all what it is. If you want to see it, you can go over to her channel and see one of her reviews. I think I don't remember which review it was she mentioned it in. It was probably the Wonderbolt Academy review. But anyway, she'll have more information on that. And I will do my best to put links to Forward Operating Base Equestria and Mad Munchkin's channels in the description below before I officially upload this video. Yes, you are watching this, so yes, I am ad-libbing it, as always. Anyway, as Rainbow Dash is in the locker room, conveying how happy she is to have a week off and what all she's going to do, Skyfly, which is one of her fellow Wonderbolts, the light blue the yellow coated light blue and white maned one, comments on how she understands that Rainbow is so excited. And of course, our Commander-in-Chief, Spitfire, sorry, Commander-in-Chief is not the right word, our Squadron Leader, Spitfire, laments about how that's great for Dash, but she will be hosting yet another week-long training session at the Wonderbolt Academy. To which Dash hilariously replies that she loves yelling at people and blowing her whistle. And we get a hilarious moment where Spitfire smiles and says, yes, I do. Anyways, skipping the intro, because there's not really anything to cover in the intro. I may do a separate video on my thoughts on that down the road if it's requested. Personally, I like the intro, but since I'm not showing the clips, no point in it. We end up with Dash at Twilight's castle, looking forward to a period with Twilight reading Daring Do and just getting back in touch with what she's missed out on. Well, that's not entirely true. That was her original intent, but on her way back to Ponyville, Rainbow Dash's cutie mark lights up and her cutie mark shows the way. That's right, this is a cutie map episode. And this time it is Rainbow Dash in Twilight, which is wonderful because Twilight has not gotten to go on a whole lot of these. I mean, none of them really have, but Twilight had to wait way too long during the initial ones in Season 5, and I'm glad she got called out in this one. So, Twilight and Rainbow Dash head back to the Wonderbolt Academy. Yep, should have known from the title that that's where this was going. But yes, Twilight and Rainbow go back to the Academy after Rainbow had already made the trek home. Needless to say, I can understand her being frustrated. I've had these kind of things happen to me before. A lot of us who've had jobs have no doubtly had these things happen to us. But she's not entirely irritated by it, thankfully. As we get back, we see Spitfire doing what she loves to do and breaking in the new recruits. Now, a lot of the military bronies out there comment how Spitfire doesn't really embody, in Wonderbolt's Academy, didn't really embody the essence of the drill instructor stereotype. Now, I think that's still the case here. She does get a little more times where she's acting a little more aggressive compared to the previous one, so they did seem to learn their lesson, but it's still not quite there. Now, thankfully, we get that to a minimum, but we do get the introduction of a few new ponies. However, only 2 or 3 of them actually get called out by name. One of which is very Fluttershy-like, but also a little bit of a fangirl. Unfortunately, I can't remember her name. It does get mentioned in the episode, but I missed it. What you gonna do? Anyway, the 2 key ponies we're going to be focusing on are the 2 at the end, well, the right side of the row. Namely, Sky Stinger and Vapor Trail. Yes, Sky Stinger comes off as a very lightning dusk and Rainbow Dash-esque character. Thankfully, he's a Colt. Now, Twilight and Dash obviously figure that they were called here because the recruits may be needing assistance. Now, this was an interesting way to go. I honestly thought they were going to be revolving the story around Spitfire, maybe repressing some feelings, but hey, this was an interesting way to go about it. So, after a moment of Rainbow Dash pointing out that they have mistakes and Twilight saying that she needs to say something, Spitfire has no problem pointing out that they need some serious work on the basics, to which will fall into a portion of training that we didn't get to see before, the classroom portion. Now, I have never myself been part of the military. However, I am aware enough of military training to understand that this is a thing. As Josh Scorcher in a few of his videos has pointed out, this is essential to military training. You have to understand the fundamentals, not only of the training itself, but where you came from. This is should be, I'm going to say should be because I don't know definitively, because again, I've never been in the military, a good parody to what a lot of people in the Air Force specifically have had to deal with, primarily due to the fact that it has to do with the flight basics. Now, Twilight is super excited, as always. I love her for that. And Rainbow points out that she pretty much fell asleep when she went through this. Doesn't really surprise me, given, what we went through, Season 4 with Rainbow Dash and her exam. And unfortunately, we do get to see her falling asleep, even though she's trying to help keep the students awake. Kind of funny, especially since she was going to use an air horn, and Twilight has to use it on Rainbow Dash. Now, unfortunately, again, Sky Stinger is a very Lightning Dusk Rainbow Dash stereotype. He is so cocky and so full of himself that he feels he has no reason to even attend training. He puts basically no effort in anything. He thinks he's such the perfect macho man stereotype that he's perfect at every little thing. It's like totally ridiculous, man. He's like the jocks in high school who go out onto the field. You know, the football players and the athletes, the baseball players. You think, oh man, I am so good at what I do. I don't need the stuff in the classroom. And then, naturally, you assume the worst of him. However, after his class ends, we find out he is actually an empathetic character. Empathy being able to acknowledge and associate with the distress and feelings of others. He is concerned about his wing pony, which again is Vapor Trail. As again, he is so full of himself, but at the same time he notices that when it comes time for her to shine, she is lackluster. Now, we do get further acknowledgement of this as we see them training more, because it turns out Vapor Trail is helping Sky Stinger, and he is unaware of this. Now, we find out later in the episode that this has been going on for years, like literally since they were children. And you'd figure he wouldn't be that, oblivious. But unfortunately, I think we've all met someone who's like that. What you gonna do? Anyways, Twilight and Rainbow Dash argue about the proper method to go about this. Twilight wants to tell them both. Rainbow wants to keep it a secret. Now, there are pros and cons to both methods. When it comes to Vapor Trail, they tried Twilight's method. And Vapor Trail is admittedly surprised somebody noticed. Then she comes down to the realization that on the solo trials, her helping her friend is unfortunately going to be his downfall, because he is overconfident and doesn't have the proper physical capability due to not putting his full effort into it. However, she does not want him to know this. She doesn't want him to think ill of her for trying to help him, and I can understand this. Again, a lot of us have been in this situation, and it's particularly hard when it's someone you know and care about. And speaking personally, I'm not oh, who am I kidding? I ship out to see about as much as the USS Constitution. Anyways, these two, you clearly feel that maybe Vapor Trail has more feelings for Sky Stinger that she's letting on. Which wouldn't surprise me because, as a lot of people who talk about shipping goes, certain characters seem to be made for one another through visual aesthetics. You can look at Carrot Cake and Cupcake for a good example of this. Or, if you're more into the main character shipping, you can look at Twilight Sparkle and Flash Sentry, which unfortunately the show has not touched on, and again, I'm not really mad about that. The show doesn't need to make her dependent or desiring a love interest. I just think it's something that's cute, and I would like to see more of it on a personal level. Anyway, so they decide to split them apart. Twilight takes Sky Stinger in order to work with him on the basics and try and get him motivated, while Rainbow takes Vapor Trail and gets her to have a little more confidence in herself. Now, through a series of conversations, exposition, we find out that Sky Stinger, much like Rainbow Dash herself, has had a desire to be part of the Wonderbolt since he was a colt. And in an interesting turn of events, Sky Stinger has multiple siblings, and as a result, his parents did not give him the attention that he needed. In retrospect, Vapor Trail, only child, whose parents are overly attentive, which is a good balance. They end up helping each other in this way. They're codependent. Now, as these things often do, the truth comes out. However, it is not Twilight or Rainbow Dash that reveals the truth. It is Vapor Trail herself. For after getting a boost of confidence, she realizes that her friend's lack of motivation is going to be his downfall, so she spills her guts. And naturally, he gets mad at her, she gets mad at him for not understanding, blah blah blah. Moving forward, we see on the training field that Sky Stinger has lost his confidence. And Spitfire is not happy. Because earlier in the episode, they reveal that Sky Stinger somehow, without anyone noticing that he was being assisted, set a record. Like, not just a cadet record, like an equestrian record for ascending to like 500 feet in 5 seconds. How nobody noticed this, I have no clue. But yes, he is visibly shaken, and Spitfire is not having it. So Rainbow Dash and Twilight get them back together and try to get them to sort things out, which they do. And they do so in a very warm way. They each acknowledge that they were both wrong, and they need one another's help. So through a combination of teamwork, and more importantly, motivating one another. This is an important thing I want to stress. A lot of times, all someone really needs is someone to believe in them. Now, that's not always the case, but this is a good indicator that you need 1, determination to get the job done. 2, dedication to continue to work on your abilities and improve. And 3, someone to keep you motivated and keep your spirits up so that you keep pushing yourself forward. They have each other, and they've always had each other, and I wouldn't be surprised, given how well these two go together, if down the road we got the revelation, hey, they're married. Now, naturally, because we do have a 22-minute time frame for the episodes, not counting commercial breaks, they resolve the matter kind of quickly. But we see through each of their individual trials that they're motivating one another. Spitfire takes note of this, but she doesn't make any comments. Because apparently Spitfire has learned her lesson over the years, finally. Yay! Continuity! And she's just happy to see her flyers improving and doing well. Apparently she did learn from Rainbow Dash and Lightning Dust's events, and has realized that flyers, wing ponies, and their leader ponies who work with one another are a better team. Naturally, it ends with Spitfire giving praise to Twilight and Rainbow Dash for doing what she was hoping them to do. And their butt tattoos signify, yay, job well done. we see the ponies return to Twilight's castle, and who show with Rainbow Dash expecting finally some relaxation, and who shows up? Skyfly. And unfortunately she reveals, Wonderbolt emergency, Rainbow Dash, we must return to base. And Rainbow, unfortunately, oh Rainbow, again, I feel so sorry for you, Rainbow Dash. Once is bad enough, twice is just cruelty. But the universe does what it does, unfortunately for us. Sorry. And that is Top Bolt. Or at least my first thoughts on Top Bolt. Now, did you like this video? If you did, please click the like button. Did you dislike this video? If you did, please click the dislike. Did you agree or disagree with some of my thoughts? If you did, please feel free to express so in the comment section down below. If you like this video and want to see more of it, please click subscribe, or if you're still sketchy on whether or not you want to view more, please click my name and go to my channel where you can see previous videos that I have done. Now, did I think this was a good episode? That is very subjective. It comes down to personal preferences. Now, personally, I liked this episode. It had a good formula to it, a good flow. Yes, it was somewhat predictable. It did follow some of the same tropes as Wonderbolt Academy and some of the other Wonderbolt-focused episodes, but it was an improvement. It didn't make anyone in the Wonderbolts look bad. It showed that Spitfire does take pride in her work, even if she sometimes pretends like it's not something she enjoys. And she actually enjoys getting to motivate flyers and push them to their limits, which is good. That is something you want to see in a teacher or a superior of any kind. Yes, it had one or two moments that maybe I felt they could have improved upon, but I'm not going to cover it in this video. Hopefully down the line I'll get things finally sorted to where I can do a proper video using my OC as opposed to this. I mean, because seriously, who wants to stare at this face all day? But this was overall a good episode, in my personal opinion. I would probably put it somewhere in the middle as far as enjoyable episodes, maybe slightly above the middle as far as Season 6 episodes so far, because we still have 2 episodes left, the finale. And yes, sometime this week I will be attempting to view my reaction to watching parts 1 and 2 of the season finale. And then afterwards I will be attempting to formulate my thoughts into a proper review video. Now, as stated in the start of the video, of this video specifically, you can check the description down below to see how you can contribute other ways of making suggestions to me if you feel it's too long to put in the comment section. You can also follow me on Twitter, see my other content on DeviantArt, hit me up on Skype, check me out on Facebook. On Facebook I do other things, not entirely related to my channel or Deviant account, but it's out there for you. Now, if you don't wish to look in the description, that's okay, because I have a title card here that you can check out instead. See? Now, my Patreon account is still not sorted yet, so I apologize sincerely for that. I would just wipe it off entirely, but this isn't like a media file I can alter real easily. But yes, there's my Facebook, there's my Skype, DeviantArt, my Twitter, and yes, that's Moonshadow_Mist, the Mist short for mystery, and the Gmail account associated with my YouTube channel. If you have recommendations for future projects, artistic or video related, or if you feel a desire to check out more information about my OC, which you can do so by going to my Deviant account and maybe wish to create fan art of some sort, you can feel free to submit it to me through my email Skype, whatever. Anyways, everyone, thank you for tuning in. This has been another live action review of the Moonshadow Mystery Channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope everyone out there has a safe, enjoyable Columbus Day weekend. I would say weekend. Weekend's already over. Sorry. But have a safe Columbus Day holiday if you're in the States and Columbus Day is the day you have off. Try and keep bundled up out there. We are shifting from summer to autumn, and the temperature is getting cooler. It's not so bad today where I'm at, but it could be cooler where you're at. So please try and stay safe and stay warm. This has been Moonshadow Mystery the Changeling, saying don't go changing for anyone but yourselves. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, and tune in next time when I review the Season 6 finale. Goodbye, everyone.